Hello, this is Keith Jordan of the Hudson Valley Guild of Mental Health Professionals. We're a membership organization of about 140 therapists throughout the Hudson Valley, and we are an organization that supports communication among uh, mental health professionals in the area. And also, we provide information about mental health services to residents in the Hudson Valley. Today, I'm going to be interviewing one of our members, Debra Lax. Hi, Debra.
Hi, Keith. How are you doing? Thanks for
Good. How
having
are
me.
you?
Good.
Can you tell us what you do professionally?
I am a licensed mental health counselor and also a clinical career counselor, which means I work with people around career issues and look at what the deeper roots are of either their sense of dissatisfaction at work or some level of stress or discontent about their work life.
So, what got you interested in doing this kind of work?
Well, I went to social work school and I studied community organizing. I eventually got a job doing job placement. And at that agency, which was a very large nonprofit agency in New York City, I met someone who is like the grandfather and mentor to everyone who does career counseling in New York City. And until I met him, I didn't even know what career counseling was. And it just clicked. I just felt like this is what fascinates me. And I eventually became head of the career counseling department there. And then through a series of events, I lost that job. I was organized out during my maternity leave. I got another job at Queens College in New York City, and then that place reorganized, and I said, you know something, I am tired of working for other people. Not knowing any better, I just said, I'm going to start my own practice. So I trained with my mentor, his name is Barry Lustig, and learned to do the work itself rather than just oversee others doing that work. And it just grew.
So, can you say something more about your education and your license?
My initial degree is in social work. I went to Case Western Reserve University, did that work for a number of years, and in my 50s, I decided I was going to go and get clinical training. So I went to an analytic institute, the National Institute for the Psychotherapies in Manhattan, and that was really transforming. It just taught me so much about how to just be with a patient or be with a client instead of trying to do something or fix them. Through the clinical training, I learned to say, to just sit with them in whatever they were feeling and to say, there's tissues there if you need them.
So, can you say something about uh, any distinction that you might make between mental health counseling and psychotherapy?
Well, mental health counseling is a relatively new license. Psychotherapy definitely is more complex, more long term. In the counseling, it's relatively short term, although I'll work with someone for several months, even a year, or even over a period of time where they'll leave and come back as new issues emerge. It could be several years, but there's a kind of a thin line between the two. It's not as deep and it's not as wide as psychotherapy would be. We do bring it back to career issues.
How would a prospective client know whether it would be a good idea to seek out your services? And why would uh, a mental health professional decide to refer one of their clients to you?
What I often find when I'm working with a client and they are in therapy is they say that there are so many other things to talk about in therapy. They say there isn't always that much time to talk about work. So in our sessions, that's all we talk about. Really, the work I do is really a very good adjunct to the work that's done in therapy. Because as I tell my clients, you bring yourself to work. It's not like you go to work and all the issues that you have in the rest of your life kind of disappear. there's transference, there's all kinds of issues. Your boss is your mother, your father, your coworkers are your siblings. Feeling overlooked is, has a deep history in childhood experiences. So if someone is very frustrated or stuck in their work life, or they keep repeating certain patterns of either not getting promoted, constantly, repeatedly getting fired, always having conflicts with coworkers, really wondering and questioning, am I doing what I should be doing? That would be a reason to refer someone to myself or another career counselor to look at what's going on in terms of work. Because while I do the deeper, look at the deeper issues, I can also deal with things like job search and interview preparation and resume writing and those things which I consider more, on the surface. Although resume writing, I've discovered, can be a very clinical session when people, have trouble expressing what they've done and what they've accomplished. That's often a big internal barrier, is feeling like they've done anything. Very often clients will sit there and say, well, who's going to hire me? Who's going to interview me? I haven't done anything. I have no accomplishments. So issues of self-worth really come up. And being able to promote yourself, being able to pitch yourself, is something that many people feel very uncomfortable about. So to help them understand, like, what is, first to identify it, and then to look at what's getting in the way, and then to help them find workarounds so they can do it in a way that feels comfortable to them.
So it sounds like you would have clients who also have a separate therapist,
Very often.
would be in
Yes.
therapy and also go to you at the same time.
Yes. Very often.
So how do you actually get your clients? How do they find out about you?
I sit on the board of two associations, Career Development Specialist Network, which is based in New York City, but now, since everything's remote, we're actually international. And then the Middle Atlantic Career Counseling Association, or MACA, which is mostly college career counselors. So by just becoming visible, being known, letting people understand what you do. And at this point, I've been in practice for so long, since 1986, that I've worked with so many people that I'm actually getting the adult children of people I worked with when I first started.
Do you have an actual office that people can go to, or is everything done through telecommunication?
I did have an office and I did everything face to face. And then COVID hit and I went 100% virtual. I'm actually loving the virtual counseling. I do everything by Zoom. And I feel that everyone I'm seeing now, pretty much, I've never met in the physical world. And I still feel that the connection is very genuine and I'm able to really, read what they're feeling and pick up on emotions, and I think it sometimes becomes a little easier for them to disclose things that face to face might be a little more difficult.
Can you say something about your fees and whether you take any insurances?
I do not take any insurance. I charge a flat fee for my sessions. I'll work around, to some extent, I'll work around people's financial constraints. Right now, I accept payment through mostly Venmo.
And how would someone contact you if they want to give your services a try?
I think the best bet is they can look at my profile on Psychology Today, or the Guild's, my profile on the Hudson Valley Guild, and contact me by email, debra.lax@gmail.com.
All right. Well, thanks again and best of luck with your continuing career.
Thank you.